How you doing? How'd you sleep? How is life treating you today? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to the family. It's been a while, and I know it's been a while, but I got some things that I was, school took my time, but also I was trying to decide what I want my content to look like. And I have finally figured it out. So as I develop the new sections, I'll be introducing them, but not in this video. In today's video, we will be discussing how you can develop your own personal taste in books. So this came about with conversations that I've been seeing. There's just a lot of discourse happening about uniformity, about how people do not have personal taste anymore, about how all the books are the same that we're all reading. And I technically do not see the books that I read most of the time, so I have developed my personal taste, but this is because I have had years of practice. So I am very intentional with the books that I read now. But I am gonna just give you some advice of what worked for me and just let you know how you can develop your own personal taste in what you read. So, number one, get off social media. Get off Goodreads, get off social media, get off TikTok, get off BookTok. I would even say get off BookTube. I feel like Reddit has like some really good book suggestions, but it also has some really bad ones. It depends where you go on Reddit, but I think things like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, they tend to read the same books. So depending on the platform you're on, you're gonna notice that several books are gonna be the same, and we don't want that. So get off social media. The second one is go around your bookstore, walk around the bookstore. If there's a title that catches your eye, that's what I do. If there's a title that catches your eye, like pick up that book, read the back of the book, and be like, does this plot ignite a little bit of passion in me? Does it ignite a little bit of curiosity in me? And if it does, buy the book. Go about and start reading that book. So that is step two. Like just go about, and also your library. Go to your library and just also go through the shelves or ask the librarian for suggestions. Library. Praise the Lord. Me and my words. But just ask them for like book suggestions. They're always eager to give them. Another thing that you could do is join a book club. I'm going to say this, not a popular book club, so I think Fable works. I've discovered some beautiful, beautiful books on Fable, but I think the ones that I've discovered the most great books in are the ones from these obscure creators. They do not have thousands and they don't have like a million followers. It's just people that are like doing it for the love of reading. If you have like physical book clubs in your area, so those people, I think that's where you get the greatest suggestions of new books to read. And then from that you'll sort of pick up like, what do I like, what do I not like, and also authors, like keeping track of the authors that you like, because I'm the same. Like there's certain people where I would read, I'm like, okay, you're a one and done person. But then there are people like Miss Tia Williams. I remember when I read her book 7 Days in June, I was like, wow, you're good. And the same with Caleb. Praise the Lord. I just remember his name is Caleb Nelson. Yes, Caleb Nelson. When I read Open Water, I was like, your writing is so beautiful. I'm going to read you again. Whatever you release, I'm going to read. And there's several authors that I do that. So then you start picking up, okay, what do I like? Do I like lyrical writing, like this beautiful prose? Do I like deep plots? So if you're a fantasy reader, you tend to like world building. You tend to be that person who is often also more into slow burn than into the instant gratification. Because with romance, there's this sort of instant gratification that happens. Um, so just, I think, finding your step there, like, what do I like? Do I like beautiful prose? Do I not? Am I more of a simplistic person? Am I not? And then you just go about there, and your taste will develop from then on, and it will grow and be beautiful. Another thing that helped me discover the books that I love reading is asking your friends. But I think this is quite tricky with friendships, especially now because people's tastes are determined by social media they consume. So their book tastes are usually determined by that. But when I started reading, we didn't really like. I think Bookstagram was a thing, but it wasn't a thing for us. So we normally, I remember when the Fallen series came out by Lauren, it's not Lauren Escher, by Lauren something. I think it's Lauren Kate. When the Fallen series came out, one of my friends read it and she was like, oh, this seems like more of your speed, because I was heavy into like fantasy and paranormal books, still am till this day. I think I'm more into like romance now compared to like that. But I remember, although I don't like romantasy, I don't get it. Like, I'm not really a big fan of romantasy, but I'm a big fan of fantasy, and I love like paranormal like books and stuff. But she read it. She was like, "This is more your speed. You should check it out." And then we all read it as a friend group, and it was like, I'll borrow book one because it was at the school library at the time. I'd borrow book one, and then my friend, as soon as I'm done with book one, my friend will borrow book one, and then I'll start with book two, and then another friend will borrow book one from her. She'll get book two, and it just like the cycle went on and on to the point where we're like, okay, cool, we all finish this book. So I think just do that, and don't be afraid. I think the one thing that I can also say is a piece of advice: don't be afraid to judge books by their covers or by their titles, because I have found some pretty amazing books just by the cover or just by the title. And I would also say try to steer away from ebooks for a while, because with ebooks I realized that most of the popular ebooks tend to be like most of the popular social media books, and try to garner towards like physical books, and then you just look at the book itself and be like, okay, and then you take note of what do I like, what do I not like. And then when you have gotten to that step and you've known what you like and what you don't like, there is this option on, I think it's on Storygraph. I need to be sure. On Storygraph. So if you like a certain book on Storygraph, there's this thing where it's like more like this. And then you can get books that are suggested that are similar to that. So whether it has like sort of similar plot lines or sort of similar like elements to it, then you can be like, go there and go forth. And I think my final piece of advice that you should adhere to is just experiment with your taste in books. Like, guys, there's nothing wrong with you buying a book and not liking it after. Like, experiment with genres. Like, I know that romance is one of the most popular genres, but and romantasy, but you can do like epic fantasy. You can do like paranormal romance. You can do literary fiction. You can do horror. You can do science fiction. Like, experiment with your tastes. You can do poetry. You can do all these different things. Do not be scared to experiment with your book taste, because that's how you determine what you liked. And there's nothing wrong with you not liking a book on the first go. There's certain books where I started, I started the book and I'm like, nah, this is not for me. There's certain books where I started and I'm like, okay, you clearly are not meant for me. So just let it go. Be like, okay, you can give it to the second hand bookstore. That's what I do with books that I do not keep. I give them over to the second hand bookstore. And then we can, I mean, you can get store credit. That's where I also buy most of my books. The second hand bookstore, getting store credit from there, and then buying the books that I want. But yeah, so do not be scared of experimenting, do not be scared of exploring, do not be scared of searching the books out. There's nothing wrong with you finding your personal taste through the means of experimentation. There is beauty in that, and I think that is something that we need to bring back as readers, not just listening to the voices of those around us, which is great, like the YouTubers that I follow. I think maybe if you find a YouTuber whose taste is similar to yours, like maybe take suggestions from them. There's nothing wrong with getting taste book suggestions from social media personalities, from social media personalities. But I think just make sure that they have similar taste to yours. But also, I think make sure that they read diversely, because I've noticed that some people read the same type of books and after a while it gets old. I do not wanna I don't wanna do that. So yeah, that is all from me. Please comment down below a heart if you got to the end of the video, but also if you have any other suggestions of how you develop your personal taste, because I just shared what worked for me. If you have any other suggestions, I would like for you to just comment it for the people so they can read and discover their personal taste and grow as readers. And we're all doing this for the love of literature, for the love of books, and for the love of words. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my video. Remember to always leave the space loved because you are loved. And I will see you next time I post. Bye! I told you I'm not here to mess around.